We're talking about Nikola Jokic being MVP. I go to the University of Kansas, and I love Jokic. My girlfriend's from Denver, and everything's great and all. But come on, Joel should be MVP. And I honestly thought for the longest time that Jokic would not win a third one because of voter fatigue. And I honestly think with more and more of the narrative growing that everyone's like, come on, Joel Embiid should be the MVP. I think everyone's happy. If I was on the voting, the NBA media, I'm a journalist. I work at KSNT in Topeka right now for 27 News. Hopefully one day I'll be able to vote. And if I had a vote, I would vote for Joel Embiid this season. I know the Denver Nuggets are arguably best, one of the best, if not, one, that's the whole argument. And like the Bucks have a better record than the Sixers. I don't. Joel Embiid, first off, on the season averaging 33.4 points, a steal a night, almost 2 blocks, 4 assists, 10 rebounds, 35.4% from three, 54% from the field. He's played 54 games so far. All right. And with their what? Being about at this point 14 games left in the season. He'll play 68, which would match last year, a career high in games played. And he's taken his game to another level. I just think at this point, Joel Embiid should be the MVP. And I understand Jokic, but Joel Embiid is just playing like a man on a mission. And I think when you look at a guy like Joel, I think it's just he deserves it. What he's doing, this team, they've also been on a mission ever over like they've been one of the best teams in basketball since probably the end of January, and I think that's just something that people are not giving this team credit for, and I think that's just a disservice. And Joel's just fantastic. And tonight, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, and Joel combined for 87 points of the 118 they scored. 36 from Joel, 23 from Tyrese. James had 28. And this was a game where Joel had 36 and 18 points and played, the final 4 minutes after initially being called for his sixth foul, leading the team to their sixth straight victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers, a formidable foe. And I think this is, this shows this was an MVP game because the Cavaliers tried various defensive schemes, double, triple team, shadowing, trying to slow and invert, stop Embiid, who's a guy who can play on the perimeter or on the inside. He's two-way, okay? And I think at this point, Joel Embiid should be the MVP. And it's been a pleasure to watch him this year. And I want to hear your guys' opinions. Are you guys on the same wave as me that, those guys, like Joel deserves this. Joel deserves this MVP. And I'm not even a Sixers fan, all right? Like, I'm a Wizards, Magic, Timberwolves fan. Joel, he's arguably the most complete big in the game. And the fact that we're acting as if he shouldn't even, like, there's people out there like saying that, yeah, but I understand what Jokic brings to the table, and what he does is, one of one. There's never been there a guy who's done what he's done at the position. But this is Embiid's year. I think the team Embiid has is not as good as arguably the Nuggets on paper. And again, that's where I'm at. Like, it should be Joel. Joel should be the MVP. And I guess call me biased because I go to the University of Kansas, but that's where I'm at. I want to hear you guys' opinions. There's not much else to say that I think he should be MVP. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below, all right? This was an interesting game, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool, okay? So for me, I think it was a good game, and it just shows that how good this team is, and Joel should be MVP. I'm going to reiterate that throughout this video because it's a fact. He should be MVP.